السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
نحمد ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي رب زدني علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. So I hope that you have been going through all these Gardan. Initially, because Sarf involves numerous things. Number one, we have to complete 22 chapters in Sarf, and then there are other types, like when harf illat is used in any of the Sarf, means any of the fi'l. We'll discuss that, not now. And the Gardan which they are in front of you, there are also number of types of Gardan that I'm going to introduce you today. So what is the most important thing? The most important thing, or the point, is that all of you should but must memorize all these Gardan. Okay, the memorization is very, very necessary. First of all, the first thing, once you memorize them, then all the rules related to all these Gardan, they are very easy to understand. Their bina, how they are made, how the construction of one verb from another takes place, and everything. So I'll let you know a number of things today, but definitely I will be focusing on memorizations. Once you memorize many Gardans, inshallah, everything will be easy for you. So like we learned about in Sarf, why the Arab was changed. Do you remember in Nahu? What were the reasons that Arab would change the last harf, or last means any kasra, zamma, fatha would change? What were the reasons? Can you remind?
For muzaf, muzafilai, construction and zar, जार के वजह से.
What were the reasons why there was nasab, why there was rafa, why there was kasra? Any reasons? Yes, Ariyab?
Because they had to change due to مذكر مؤنث and جمع واحد مثنى. No?
Actually, the Arab, there were reasons. Number one, if there was a noun that was at the beginning of the sentence, and definitely it was mubtada, because of mubtada, it had to be marfu. Okay, number one thing. Number two, if any noun that came after verb, and we learned about that, like qara'a Zaydun al-kitab. Al-kitab is what? Mansub, which is mansub because of it is its place and the usage in the sentence, and it becomes what? Maf'ul. Okay. Then we also learned that if any harf jar comes before any noun, that harf jar makes the following noun majroor, and that takes kasra or other any forms of jar. Likewise, if any noun that becomes muzaf, and the muzaf ilayh must be majroor, and majroor also had what? Kasra sometimes, and also change in huruf. So here we are going to learn, means initial introduction I'm going to give you, that because of some huruf, because of some words, I'm okay. Harf is also word. type of word, a type of kalima. Because of some kalima, the last of the verb also changes. The last of verb also changes. Now, how does it change? Now I'm going to tell you about the kalima lam. That is jahad balam. Fail jahad balam. We'll discuss that in detail. Now, first of all, lam definitely enters into fi'lul mudari. Where does it enter?
فعل مضارع.
Fi'lul mudari. Okay. Lam enters into fi'l mudari. Now, there are two, means whenever lam is entered into fi'l mudari, two changes take place. Number one, it makes the fi'l mudari majzoom. What does it make it? There comes jazm. The first change, it makes fi'lul mudari majzoom. Jazm comes on the last letter of fi'lul mudari. This is the first change. Who is going to repeat it? Yes, I'm waiting for you.
Okay.
lam,
sorry, go on.
Yes.
lam enters in muzare.
Lam.
Muzare. Lam.
Yes. Lam enters into fi'l mudari. Yes.
Muzare, and it makes the fi'l majzoom. The last letter will take kasra. Sorry, sakin.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else?
Yes, when lam enters into فعل مضارع, then changes take place, and one change is the harf takes a jazm, becomes مجزوم.
Okay. Now these are awamil. Okay. Awamil means they make an action. Because of that action, the last harf of fi'l mudari that has jazm. Now there are few forms of jazm. We are going to discuss that. This is the first point, that it makes fi'l mudari majzoom. Okay. Do you understand the first point?
Yes, sir. Are you talking about meme takes the jazm?
No. Like.
All right. Okay. The end of yudrob. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
I get it now. Seeing it. Okay.
I repeat whatever I said. There are some words, but I'm trying to restrain myself to give you all the words at the moment, because you need to understand few words right now, and we will progress further with the passage of time, inshallah. So these are the awamil, means all those kalimat, they are means huruf amila, because they enter into mudare. Now there few changes take place. So one of them is jahad balam, means jahad with lam. Lam is a word that is used with before fi'lul mudare, and that's we call it fail jahad balam, means with lam. Okay. Now what changes take place? What are those changes? They take place when lam enters to muzare. It makes the failul muzare majzoom. Now what are the identification marks of jazm? Let me tell you one by one. First of all, if lam enters into four sigas. No, four. Yes, four sigas. What are those? Like yazrib, no, five sigas. Yazribu, tazribu, tazribu, azribu, nazribu. These are the five sigas. One of them is wahid mudhakkar ghaib. Second one is wahid muannath ghaib. Third one is wahid mudhakkar hadir. Fourth one is wahid mutakallim. And the fifth one is jama mutakallim. Okay. Whenever it enters into the five sigas, it makes the last letter majzoom. Like there was a yazribu. When lam enters, it becomes lam yazrib. Tazribu, lam tazrib. Tazribu, lam tazrib. Azribu, lam azrib. Nazribu, lam azrib. Okay, this is the first thing. I'll repeat and I'll ask you as well. Number two, when it enters into six sigas, four sigas of musanna, okay, four sigas of musanna, like musanna muzakkar ghaib, musanna muannath ghaib, musanna muzakkar hazir, musanna muannath hazir. Now, like it was yazribani, when lam enters, the noon is dropped. The last noon is dropped. That is the identification of jasm. Like it was yazribani, now it becomes lam yazriba. Tazribani, it becomes lam tazriba. Tazribani, it becomes lam tazriba. Tazribani, it becomes lam tazriba. You understand that? Because yazribani is musanna muzakkar ghaib. Tazribani, there are three sigas. They are common for muannas ghaib, musanna muannas ghaib, then musanna muzakkar hazir, and musanna muannas hazir, right? So what does lam do when it enters into these four musanna sigas? The noon, the last noon is dropped, and this is the identification mark when lam enters into musanna. So it makes it majzoom. Okay. So we learned about five sigas. Where what are those? Yazribu, tazribu, tazribu, azribu, and nazribu. The last letter is becomes majzoom. The means zamma is dropped. Okay. When lam enters into four sigas of musanna, it makes its majzoom by dropping the last noon that comes at the end of the siga. So it becomes lam yazriba, lam tazriba, lam tazriba, and lam tazriba. 4 and 5, they become 9 sigas. Now we are going to discuss about two sigas, two more sigas. What are those? Jama Muzakkar Ghaib and Jama Muzakkar Hadir, like Yazribuna and Tazribuna. When lam enters into these two sigas, the last noon is also dropped. The last noon of Jama Muzakkar Ghaib and the last noon of Jama Muzakkar Hadir. That becomes lam yazribu, and the Muzakkar Hadir lam tazribu. Is that clear? Any questions?
Ustad, can you please repeat the five sigas, the beginning one? The tadribu?
Yes, 5 sigas. I talked about those 5 sigas. I repeat them. Number 1, that is Wahid Muzakkar Ghaib. The second one is Wahid Muannas Ghaib. The third one is Wahid Muzakkar Hazir. The fourth one is Wahid Mutakallim. And the fifth one is Jama Mutakallim. And what are they? Like Yadribu, Tadribu, Tadribu, Azribu, Nazribu. When lam enters into those 5 sigas, they become lam yadrib, lam tadrib, lam tadrib, lam adrib, lam nadrib. The last zamma is changed into jazm. So because jahad balam, that makes the last letter majzoom, that works as an action taker. Okay, what is the action? When it enters into Fa'il Mudari, it makes the Fa'il Mudari majzoom. Then we talked about 4 other sigas. What are those sigas? 4 sigas of musanna. Musanna muzakkar ghaib, musanna muannas ghaib, musanna muzakkar hadir, and musanna muannas hadir. When lam enters into 4 of them, the last noon is dropped. And when means that is the identification. What is the identification? Because of entrance of lam, the last noon is dropped. So they become lam yazriba, lam tazriba, lam tazriba, and lam tazriba. Okay, because 3 of them, they are common for muannas musanna, muzakkar musanna hadir, and muannas musanna hadir. Okay, then we talked about 2 more sigas. What are those? They are Jama Muzakkar Ghaib and Jama Muzakkar Hadir. because they have noon at the end. Okay, like yadribuna and tadribuna. When lam enters into them, the last noon is dropped. So it becomes lam yadribu and lam tadribu. So 5 plus 4, 9, and plus 2. How many sigas are now? Yes, hurry up.
11.
11. How many sigas are left? We are left with now. We are left with 3. Yes. We cannot also forget the noon of Wahid Muannas Hadir, like Tazribina. Now, there are 2 school of thoughts. What are those? One of them, they call that the alamat, identification for Wahid Muannas is noon. And the other school of thought says no, it is not noon, it is ya. Because when noon is dropped, when lam enters into tazribin, it becomes lam tazribi. So ya is over there. So this is what? The identification of Wahid Muannas Hadir, right? So the noon of Wahid Muannas Hazir is also dropped. So they now the number of sigas becomes 12. Now we are left with 2. What are those 2 sigas? Jama Muannas Ghaib and Jama Muannas Hazir. Their noon is never dropped. Whatever, if there is a storm, there is any rains, there is any hurricane or whatever, the noon of Jama Muannas Ghaib and the noon of Jama Muannas Hazir, they never drop. You can see that is what? Lam Yazribna and Lam Tazribna. Is that clear up to now?
So could you repeat that?
Yes, I'm going to repeat everything. Are you with me now, everyone? I need your attention.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we are going to discuss about lam. Jahad balam. This is what there are some kalimas when they enter into fail, they change the last harf, means last harakat of the fail. Okay. Now, like we can talk about lamma in Quran, lamma yadkhulil. Okay, that also makes majzum. There's also another word like lan yadriba. لن ترضى عنك اليهود ولا النصارى حتى تتبع ملتهم. Okay, we'll also discuss that. Adhin, kai, la. There are some kalimas when they enter into fail muzare, they change the last of the fail muzare. Now, last what means they bring change into last letter of the fail muzare. So we are discussing now lam. Remember, it is jahad balam. Like we are discussing fi'al jahad balam ma'lum. Okay. Now it enters into fi'lul muzare. Fi'lul muzare, definitely it has 14 sigas. Now when lam enters into fi'lul muzare, it makes fi'lul muzare majzoom. What does it mean? That the last letter, if it is having zamma, it will change into jazm. Like yazribu, when lam enters, it becomes lam yazrib. Okay, the one thing. I will repeat that as well. Number 2, if failul muzare ends into noon, and there are numerous types of noons, they have been used. The noon comes at the end of the 4 sigas of muthanna. Noon comes at the end of the 2 sigas of jama. Noon comes at the end of 2 sigas of jama muannas ghaib and hadir. Noon also comes at the end of wahid muannas hadir. Is that clear up to now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now when we have divided the 14 sigas, 5 of them they take a ram afterwards. That means at the end of them. What are those 5 sigas? I repeat them. Number 1, wahid muzakkar ghaib, wahid muannas ghaib, wahid muzakkar hadir, wahid mutakallim and jama mutakallim. I repeat them: yadribu, tadribu, tadribu, azribu, and nazribu. That take zamma at the end of them. When lam enters into 5 of these sigas, now the last zamma is changed into jasam. They become lam yadrib, lam tadrib, lam tadrib, lam azrib, lam nazrib. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we are going to talk about 4 sigas. They are related to muthanna, like yadribani, tadribani, tadribani, tadribani. Muthanna muzakkar ghaib, muthanna muannas ghaib, muthanna jama hadir, or muthanna muzakkar hadir, muthanna muannas hadir. Now when lam enters into them, then the last noon is dropped. Okay, they become lam yadriba, lam tadriba, lam tadriba, and lam tadriba. The last noon of 4 sigas of musanna, because we all know that the 14 sigas are divided into 6 sigas for ghaib, 6 sigas for hadir, and 2 sigas for mutakallim. Then in ghaib, again, we have got 3 sigas for muzakkar ghaib, 3 sigas for muannas ghaib. And in 6 sigas of hadir, 3 sigas for muzakkar hadir, 3 sigas for muannas hadir, and 2 sigas for mutakallim. So now there are 4 musanna: musanna muzakkar ghaib, musanna muannas ghaib, musanna muzakkar hadir, musanna muannas hadir. So the last noon is dropped. So it becomes lam yadriba, lam tadriba, lam tadriba, lam tadriba, and lam tadriba. Is that clear? Any questions?
No, sir. So is that 1, 2, 3, 4?
4, only 4. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Like
Okay.
yadribani muzakkar ghaib, musanna muzakkar ghaib, tadribani musanna muannas ghaib, tadribani musanna muzakkar hadir, tadribani musanna muannas hadir. If you want, I can just underline them. Like you can see, this was yadribani. Okay, this was
Yes, please.
tadribani, this was tadribani, this was also tadribani. Now when lam entered into 4 of them, they become lam yadriba, lam tadriba, lam tadriba, and lam tadriba, right? Now we are left with some more sigas. 2 of them, they belong to jama, okay? And jama muzakkar ghaib and jama muzakkar hadir. Noon also comes at the end of them, like it was yadribuna, and this was tadribuna. Okay, when lam entered into them, the last noon that came into, it means that was part of jama muzakkar ghaib and jama muzakkar hadir, that noon is dropped. This is the identification mark, that when lam entered, it made it majzoom. How did it make, means did it make them majzoom? By dropping the last noon. So it became, both of them became lam yadribu and lam tadribu. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Now we are left with 3 more sigas. Now in 3 sigas, also noon comes. We are okay. We are talking about wahid muannas hadir. That was tazribina. Okay. Now when lam enters into that, it becomes lam tazribi. I have told you 2 things over here. We'll discuss that later on, but just for your information, some of the Sarfi, they say, although they are expert in the ilm of Sarf, they say that noon is the identification mark for wahid muannas hadir, and some say no, noon is not an identification for mark for wahid muannas hadir. The identification mark is ya, because when lam enters into it, noon is dropped. So tadribin becomes lam tadribi. So this noon is also dropped. Now we are left with 2 more noons, and those noons, they belong to jama muannas ghaib and jama muannas hadir. They are never dropped. Even lam comes, or lan comes, or adin comes, kai comes, lamma comes, they are never dropped, because that is their identification mark. Without them, we cannot identify them as Jama Muannath Ghaib, and Jama Muannath Hadir. What are those sigas? I'm going to underline them. These. Lam Yadribna, Lam Tadribna. Before that, that was Yadribna and Tadribna. So even Lam enters into them, they never change. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Any questions from any side?
No, sir.
Nobody is having question. MashaAllah, great. So this was the first change. I repeat, I told you, fail jahad balam means balam with lam. When lam enters into failul muzare, two changes take place. One of the changes I have discussed in detail. When lam enters into failul muzare, it makes the last letter majzoom. So 5 of the letters at the end, a zamma comes. So those letters drop zamma and become majzoom, like yadribu, lam yadrib. 5 sigas of musanna, oh sorry, 4 sigas of musanna, when lam enters into them, their last noon is dropped. 2 sigas of jama muzakkar ghaib and jama muzakkar hadir, their last noon is dropped when lam is entered. 1 siga of wahid muannas hadir, the last noon is after also dropped when lam enters into that, like tadribina, lam tadribi. Only 2 sigas of jama muannath ghaib and jama muannath hadir, their noon is never dropped, even lam enters or any other word enters into them. This was the first thing. Number 2, now when lam enters into fi'l mudare, the meaning is also changed. Okay, what is the meaning? It gives the meaning of fi'lul madhi ma'lum, means manfi. That is what? Negative. The negative meaning of fi'lul madhi al ma'lum. Like we learned about ma zaraba, means he did not hit or he did not kill. When lam is entered, like lam yadrib, the same meaning is given by this word. It also means he did not kill or he did not hit. Lam tadrib, she did not hit. Ma gharabat, she did not hit. Lam tadrib, you did not hit or you did not kill. Ma gharabta, you did not hit. The meaning is same. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Any
Sir, can
questions?
you please repeat that?
Yes, I'm repeating. We learned about Felul Mazi. Felul Mazi Ma'lum. Musbat means affirmative. Felul Mazi Ma'lum, negative. Manfi means if we bring ma before Zaraba, Zaraba means he hit or he killed in Mazi. Okay? When ma comes before Felul Mazi, it becomes ma Gharaba. He did not hit or he did not kill. Right? Now, when lam enters into fi'l muzare, first change we discussed that it makes the muzare majzoom, and we discussed in detail how it becomes majzoom. The second change is when lam enters into fi'l muzare, the meaning of fi'l muzare changed into mazi ma'lum negative. Is that clear? Like it was zaraba, ma zaraba, he did not hit. Now when we talk about lam yadrib, it also means he did not hit. Lam yadriba, they 2 males did not hit. Like ma gharaba, those 2 males did not hit. Like lam ma gharabat, she did not hit. And we say lam tadrib, she did not hit. The same meaning. Any questions?
No, sir.
Aman, did you understand?
Ji, Ustad.
Okay. Who is going to repeat one by one?
I'll try,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, try it, please.
Yeah. Lam enters fail muzare,
Ah.
and as it's a amil, it
Mhm.
changes the sega to mazum.
Mhm.
The 5 segas with dhamma, the last let dhamma will change to take the zazam.
Very
And
good.
for 4 noon,
Mhm.
musannas, 2 for
Four musannas, four
4
sigas related to musanna. Yes.
musanna will drop the noon.
Yes, their noon would be dropped when lam enters
Dropped.
into them. Yes, yes.
And then 2 jama for muzakkar.
Mm-hmm.
Then also when lam enters, noon will be dropped.
Good.
After that, muannas for muannas hazir wahid tadribina, when lam enters to it, in that case also noon will be dropped. Lam tadribi.
Very
It
good.
will become like that. And next for 2 segas like muannas jama, for that case when lam enters, nothing will be changed. It will be like that only.
Very good. Okay.
Second thing, shall I continue?
Yes, yes, continue.
And
I'll ask
second change
everyone.
is second change, lam meaning wise also lam changes the meaning of the sega. It will become, when lam enters, it will become fail mazi malum manfi.
Very good.
It will be like yadribu, ma yadribu will be similar to like lam yadrib. The both meaning
Ma
will be same.
daraba. Ma daraba.
Sorry.
Yes.
Ma daraba. Yes, ma daraba will be the same as lam yadrib.
Good. Very good. Yes. Anyone else?
Right, okay, so when lam enters fi'l mudari, then fi'l jahad balam occurs, where the change, what happens is the last letter on the verb becomes madzum, it takes a jazam. So the first 5 in wahid, the noon will be dropped, so it'll become lam yadrib, lam
Noon will be
tadrib.
dropped or zamma will be dropped.
Sorry, the dhamma will be dropped, and it will take a jazam, and it'll become lam yadrib, lam tadrib, lam tadrib, and lam adrib, and lam nadrib.
Yes. Good.
Right, okay. And in the jur, again, 4 noons will be dropped, and that's lam yadriba, lam tadriba, and lam tadriba, and lam tadriba.
Good.
Yes, and in the jama', there's 2 in the jama' mudhakkar ghaib and jama' muannath. Sorry, jama' where is it? Jama' muannath.
No. 2 jamas.
No?
Jama muzakkar ghaib and jama muzakkar hadir.
Mudhakkar hadir.
Like yadribun and tadribuna. Noon also comes at the end of jama.
Yes, sorry, yes, in the hadir, yes, I get it now. Lam yadribuna and lam tadribuna. Yes. And there's 2
when
noons.
lam enters, then what happens?
The noon is dropped and becomes lam yadribu. Instead of yadribuna, it becomes lam yadribu, and tadribuna becomes lam tadribu.
Very good. Yes.
Yes. And there's 2 noons that are never dropped in jama muannath ghaib and jama mudhakkar hadir. So it's lam yadribna and lam
Jama
tadribna.
muannas ghaib and jama muannas hadir.
Hadir, yes, that's what I said. Yeah, lam tadribna. And the other one that we need to make note of is the wahid muannath hadir. لم تضربين تضربين become لم تضربي. And the experts of ilm have said that the noon identification is for female, but some say no, it's ya, because in this when noon is dropped, ya is indication that it's indicating female.
Okay. Okay. That's it.
All right. Okay. And yeah, so with this, when lam comes in the beginning, then we call this فعل مضارع معلوم manfi, is it called manfi, negative?
Then yes, the فعل المضارع المعلوم, the meaning is changed into فعل
Is it manfi?
فعل الماضي المعلوم المنفي,
Yes.
or منفي, negative, right?
Yes, and it has the same meaning of ما ضرب.
لم يضرب and ما ضرب both have same meanings, or لم تضرب ما ضربت have same meanings.
لم يضرب and ما ضرب have the same meaning.
Very good. Yes, everybody has understood.
Yes.
Okay, who is going to repeat? Hurry up. Who is going to repeat? Aman, do you want to repeat it?
Inshallah, I can try. So once the lam enters into fi'l al-mudari', two changes are made. The first is in the 5 sighas that are of mufrad. It becomes a jazm. So that is yadribu will become yadrib, and so on. The second one is in the 4 sigha of muthanna, the noon is dropped. So yadribani will become yadriba, and so on. In the jama' mudhakkar ghaib and in the jama' mudhakkar hadir, that is yadribuna and tadribuna, the noon will also be dropped. So it will become yadribu and nadribu. Lam yadribu, lam tadribu. In the mufrad muannath hadir,